I grabbed Blake Farley from Relentless Collision Center because he was at the Southeast Collision Conference as an attendee and wanted to know what his greatest takeaways were. And they are good. Plus, Blake is so passionate. You're really going to enjoy him. Stay tuned for this episode.
Welcome to Body Bangin', your podcast for all things body. Auto body, that is. And now, introducing Body Bangin's host, Mickey Woods of Mickey Woods Marketing. Mickey is a former auto collision center owner and is now a marketing and business development expert to shops across the globe.
Hello and welcome back to the Body Bangin' podcast. We are at the Southeast Collision Conference out in Virginia, and we are talking with all the not all the attendees, but some of the attendees, speakers, vendors, and thanks to Lombard Equipment, our sponsor, who, if you're looking to buy equipment, give them a call. They can help you dial in exactly what you need. Today, we are talking with Blake Farley from Redeemed Auto Body. Hi, Blake.
Hey, Mickey. Good to see you.
Good to see you. So tell us where your shop's at.
So I'll start off this little chat with you with a little course correction. I'm with Relentless Collision.
Relentless Collision.
Redeemed is going to be, yeah. We'll let Walt handle the redeemed part.
That's right. Relentless Collision.
Relentless Collision. Yes, Mickey. We're in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Yes.
Cary, North Carolina, and Durham, North Carolina as well.
How many locations are you at now?
Currently, we have 3, and we're looking to add our 4th location, which would be the 2nd location in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Awesome. How exciting for you guys.
It's fantastic. It's a great time to be in the collision space.
Yes. So Blake is an attendee at the Southeast Collision Conference. Is this your first year?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, nice. Okay. So you didn't know what you were getting.
Well, I will say this. We went to SEMA, hung out with these guys, and it was fantastic.
Yes.
And that's when we joined SCRS. We had been a member of the Carolina Collision Association. And so with the networking power that comes with being in the room with all these amazing folks, it was certainly informative. It certainly, we were able to take conversations back home and start applying what we've learned into practice and saw it affect our business in a positive way. So we certainly, we're not going to miss them moving forward.
Yes.
And so we're here in Richmond. We got 2 of our general managers here as well.
Great.
So they're partaking in the networking and the classes as well.
Awesome. Awesome. So it's still early in the day, first day. So what sessions have you been to thus far?
So Mike Anderson had a session this morning. We taught some of that. And I had the privilege when I was at SEMA to see a piece of Mike's presentation there as well.
Yeah.
The electric, that's the focus right now. What's going on right now, just recently was the electric vehicle, the EV coming into the collision space.
Yes.
We at Relentless do a lot of electric. We do a lot of Tesla as well. So we're very familiar. So we were able to contribute on sidebar discussions, what we've learned. And also got some notes to take away to start to improve us from safety aspects, things that you really sometimes don't think about.
Totally, which is so important, right? Like we think of the basics on how to repair, but oftentimes, isn't it funny, like safety, we're like, oh yeah, that.
Yeah.
Like really?
Yeah, so we've had some folks speak on that helps us just remember that there are hazards with the EV that you don't see on the ICE vehicles.
Exactly. Yeah. So were you part of the EV discussion or you just felt like you were kind of talking after?
Talking after. And Mickey, you've been to these many times. So I'm sure a lot of the folks that are watching this have. And so they know from experience that the sidebar discussions after the presentations are as valuable, sometimes even more so, when you're standing in a circle with like 7 top-level collision operators that are doing the same thing you're doing, and they've implemented processes at their shop, in this case, as far as safety, that are great takeaways that you take back or ready to take back and apply.
Right.
And then for anybody watching these clips that you're doing, there's never been, I can't stress how valuable it is to be in these events. Not only the presentations, we got epic presenters that are just fantastic.
Right.
But then again, you've also got the top level operators in the country standing, right out in the crowd, ready to have conversation with you.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's so much value on every end, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you're saying, the sessions are incredible, but the sidebar conversations, the conversations in the hallway, the cocktail hour afterwards, dinner, whatever. It's like so much information sometimes then it leaves your brain spinning. So then you got to figure out how am I going to actually take all this information and do something with it rather than letting the information drown you, right? That can be a tricky part of this process, being at a conference.
Yeah. And this, folks here are ready to build a relationship with you.
Yeah.
So they'll exchange cell phone numbers, because it is busy. The ops tempo is pretty high.
Yeah.
But they will be ready to play consultant at a later date. Hey, man, give me a call. I'll help you out. And I think there's a myth with coming to these events that you're in and amongst competitors. And that's absolutely not the case. That is what you've got is a powerhouse consulting team here.
Yeah.
But you do get out of it what you put in it. If you just show up, you don't chat, meet, greet, ready to engage, you may not get a lot out of it. But if you're ready to step up, say, hey, I need help with something, that you'll have a ton of folks showing up saying, hey, I'll be glad to help you with that.
Absolutely. Great point. Very great point. People oftentimes go to these things and they leave feeling like it was whatever. But how much did you step out of your comfort zone and talk to others and be vulnerable and talk about the things you're going through, maybe your struggles, or share some of the great things that you are doing versus this playing it close to the chest. I can't give out my secrets.
Yeah, Mickey, you're exactly right. The CCA, Carolina Collision Association, such a huge fan. Those guys, when we arrived at the CCA, we knew we needed help. Because our team came from a direct repair background. We could run that program very well.
Yeah.
So the transition into the adjusted claims, we thought we knew what we were doing. And once we realized, wait a minute, man, we're not being effective here. We reached out to those guys and got immediate mentorship and fantastic information, how to package an effective conversation with a client, walk them through their consumer rights in North Carolina. And then let me back up. We also were humble and understood we did not correctly know how to create a repair plan, a thorough repair plan.
Right.
And so we got help, literally from every member of Carolina Collision Association with those things. And it transitioned our team literally in 12 months.
Wow.
In a very positive way.
That's amazing.
But that's not a one-off. Guys like that you've got industry leaders that have been doing this for decades.
Yes.
More than willing to help you. More than willing to help you. But most folks are not standing around bragging on what's going right. I don't need help on what's going right. I need help on hey, this isn't really working well, or we're struggling. And then sometimes you just step back and listen. Yeah. And you may think that you're on target, only to be exposed to some badassery in this business. And you're starting to see they've leveled up on some things. And for you to keep pace, you need to be right beside them taking notes.
Right. Yeah. And I think it's people are oftentimes surprised. I was surprised at how open and helpful everybody is. Of course, there's always going to be a dick out there. There's always going to be people that are rude or whatever. Okay, well, they're few and far between compared to the amount of people that are really willing to go out of their way to help because they have a heart to do so. Not because they're going to get something from it, but because they really want to help others. It's incredible.
Yeah, to your point, even those folks that may be a little prickly, I would suggest this. I'm not letting my insecurities and lack of knowledge prevent me from making a big bank deposit at the end of the month. Yeah. And so that's where we do not mind cashing in our ego at the door and being the student, the perpetual student. And this is a great classroom.
Yeah, exactly. So do you have any sessions that are coming up today or tomorrow that you're like, oh yeah, I definitely am excited to attend this?
Oh, yes, ma'am. John Shoemaker his class is coming up here in about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Myself and Noah Rodriguez, my manager from our Cary location, and Rick Allison, our manager at a Raleigh location. We're all three going to go sit in John's class. And it's talking about labor allocations on the sheet.
Yes.
Is it in the right category?
Right.
Is it a body operation? Is it a mechanical operation?
Yeah.
Steel structural or aluminum structural? All that matters. And, we know C1 doesn't always denote if the part is a structural part.
Right.
And so you need to know, what is taking place. And we want to discuss that in the repair plan, right?
Yeah.
And so get that up front. So then when we go to build this out, we're billing appropriate.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, and it just goes to show you there's always more to learn. Even if you've been doing this since you grew up in the industry, there's always more to learn. We can always be better. So I feel like the owners that are sitting back and sitting on their hands like, oh, I got this great shop, I'm making great money because you're busy. Could you be doing better? I feel like people like you that go to these things, you want to do better. You want to be better. You want to grow.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Mickey, the people you can surround yourself with, how are you doing good? How do you know you're doing good?
Right.
And to your point, can you be better? And when you're bumping into folks like, Kyle and Michael Bradshaw, they set the bar high.
Right.
Barry Dorn, those guys that are heroes of ours that are doing amazing things. They're repairing the car correctly. And then they're helping us keep a perspective on how to be the advocate for the consumer.
Yeah.
Lean forward into those negotiations with the insurance folks. Proactively providing documentation, explaining, hey, this is why we've got to do it. And then Mike Anderson's class, which is fantastic on, is the operation required? Is it an included operation? If it is, great, we got a time study. If it's not, what's it worth?
Right.
And then what happens if I don't do it? I mean, so these are just fundamentals that the folks on the front lines of our business, whether they're labeled a service advisor, team leader, but are interfacing with the owner of the car and interfacing with the insurance folks. That is where we find value bringing that data back to those guys.
Yeah.
To help them with word tracks, go-to statements to effectively articulate, where we are. Because, today's vehicles are not getting less complex. They're rapidly moving the other way. And so, we're repairing vehicles that are as, sophisticated as fighter aircraft.
Yeah.
And we've got an amazing talent pool out there doing that, right? So being in the room with these industry leaders, and it doesn't matter if you've got one shop, it doesn't matter if you've got 12, they all have fantastic things to contribute to make us better.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and I'm watching all the people walk by behind you, and it's so cool to see how many people are coming out to be a part of it, to learn. I think our industry has pushed back on that to some degree, and it's nice to see more shops and more people embracing coming to these events, meeting people, checking out all the new things, all the education that's available. I mean, there's so much. There's no excuse. I don't think there's an excuse anymore.
Yeah, Mickey, I agree with you. There is no lack of enthusiasm here.
Yeah.
And we're having fun, man. This is great. And it's so, the only thing I would challenge anybody that this data comes across, and if you're wondering, hey, should I be a part of it? Dude, just try it one time. Just try it one time. Go introduce yourself to folks. And again, there are we may be in the same market area. And I've got buddies, here that are pretty close to our operation.
Yeah.
But we never see each other as a competitor. We've actually sent cars to their shops, if we're in a position where, for instance, there are some cars that we're not certified to touch.
Right.
So at Relentless, we focus on, BMW, Mercedes, Jag, Land Rover, Alfa Romeo, Maserati, and Tesla.
Yeah.
We're working on our Rivian certification. We had a Rivian show up to the shop. We're not certified. It goes out to K&N Collision in Hickory.
Right.
We chat here. We can chat with a vehicle owner. And if we're going to refer you to another shop, we have a personal relationship with that shop.
Awesome.
So it's not like it's somebody in the abyss that we're just saying, go to that guy.
Right. Not like, well, good luck. There you go.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I love
Good
that.
stuff.
Yeah, really good stuff. Well, I appreciate your time. I won't keep you much longer, because I know the trade floor, I can only see so much of it from here. Is it pretty awesome?
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
Okay.
It's great.
All right.
Lots of conversations going on over there. Now, I was told, Mickey, that I get some type of swag from you signed by Mickey Woods. That's why I volunteered to do this.
Oh, is that what it was? All right. I'll find something for you.
Yeah. Brandon Eckenrud already has given me one of his cool glasses, out of a vodka bottle. So
I know Brandon's stuff is awesome. The B-cycle bottles. Yeah. I know. Such cool stuff. Don't you worry. I'm getting stuff. I'll send you something.
I'm confident.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Blake, poor Blake's walking around and Josh just grabs him. So there was no preparation for any of this, but I appreciate you being candid and coming on, being honest and sharing your thoughts and your insights and what you guys are doing at Relentless. Super cool.
Awesome. Thank you, Mickey. And thank you for what you do for the collision industry.
Oh,
love the cocktail hour, man. That is great. I show up with my notepad every time.
Yeah, the collision cocktail hour is amazing. I love it too. So another way to learn, right? It's another way to keep adding to our tool belt.
I do. I think we had 65 folks on the last one.
Yeah.
All across the country, and literally notepad out, making notes.
Yeah.
Because to your point earlier, if you want to get better, you got to surround yourself by some darn good folks.
Exactly. Yeah. And life in general. I totally agree. Well, thank you, Blake. Thank you, everybody, for listening. And thank you to Lombard Equipment for their wonderful sponsorship of this segment of the podcast. We'll see you later. Bye.
If you enjoyed today's show, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We have some incredible topics and guests coming your way you will not want to miss. If you are watching on YouTube and don't want to miss the latest and greatest, you'll want to hit the bell after subscribing, so you will get a pop-up each time a video podcast goes live. To our devoted fans, would you mind paying it forward and sharing this little gem with someone else you think may benefit from it? Much love from all of us here at Body Bangin', all things auto body.